is going to be helping.
Today, now I know right now it doesn't look like it, but today will be our rain-free day before some showers, thunderstorms begin to move in tomorrow through the rest of the week. It's still going to remain warm, but if you got that grass to cut, today is the day.
Yes, it is.
Take our word for that. All right, time for news. Brought to you by Portsmouth Cancer Care and Associates. And that's Dr. Inashita with his crew, with the care, compassion, and the roadmap to your recovery begin. And once again with news, here's Bill.
Thanks, Steve. Good morning, everyone. During last Thursday's Portsmouth City School District's board meeting, a number of certificated staff members learned the finality of their fate. It was with a great deal of gossip, misinformation, and accusations flying around concerning the dire financial state of the school district. I spoke with the district's treasurer, Andy Reel, and I asked Andy if there were verified accounts of money missing from the district's records.
No, there's never been any missing money. You know, one of the things right off the bat we had to do was I think the first day I was in interim, I got a letter from the auditor that I had to sign off on where we would make corrective action plans for certain things. And one of the things was there was negative balances in federal programs. You know, school districts can't run negative balances in federal programs, and especially at year end, you can't do that. You know, and these audit reports they're out there on ODE's website to pull up and look at it at any time at all. That was an issue.
I also asked Reel if he anticipated any criminal charges to come forth due to the accounting, the spending, or authorization of the previous administration.
That's for somebody else to decide. I mean, that's, you know, the auditor state, DEW, whoever is charged with those types of things, that would be their decisions to make, not ours. I mean, about the most I've done with any of this was provide information that I was requested of me. That was it.
Now, a discussion of a resolution that calls for the city of Portsmouth to be declared a safe haven for individuals seeking gender-affirming health care will be presented at tonight's Portsmouth City Council meeting during the city manager's portion of the meeting. The proposal asks the city to recognize its responsibility to protect the physical and psychological well-being of all individuals. The proposed resolution also calls for what is deemed to be medically necessary health care to be determined by trained, licensed healthcare professionals in concordance with their patients. The resolution would also call for the city to protect everyone, regardless of their sex, sexuality, color, socioeconomic status, and religion. It's important to note federal housing funding would not be affected by the passing of this resolution. The conditions for the reduction in housing funding has already been set by the current presidential and federal administration. Meanwhile, Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost is speaking out about concerns with drug traffickers distributing dangerous drugs that look like prescription medications. Carla Rosner has more.
3,700 pills were taken by police in Pickerington. The AG's office says these are carfentanil. This drug is 100 times stronger than fentanyl. However, they are designed to look like typical prescription medication. According to Yost's office, the use of the drug peaked in 2017. It hasn't been as popular in recent years, but there has been an uptick in 2025. Carfentanil has been seized from 16 different counties across Ohio. To avoid accidentally taking carfentanil, Yost says only take pills prescribed by a doctor.
From Mix 99.3 News, I'm Bill Shope.
Well, Saturday night, Bill, I had the pleasure of witnessing and emceeing a show that just stunned me, which was, of course, The Ultimate Doors.
It looked like it was a good show. I saw a live feed from it from someone on Facebook, and it looked like a good show.
Well, there were several of that. I'm going to play a little piece here this morning so you can hear the guy who looked just like Jim Morrison and sounded like him as well.
You know that I could be alive if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. I'm a baby like that fire. I'm a baby like that fire. That is something that I need for you. I know it's a tedious still, a time to water with the fire. We can only lose. Every love you come and keep you apart. Oh, baby, like
you were thinking that you were sitting right there in 1970 watching The Doors. He was great. He really was.
And everything I saw, they sounded great. Looked like it was a good crowd, too.
Well, it was full house, and opening up the show I thought was kind of a fun event was Nick Erlenwine and Ronnie Pierce, who called themselves the Hinges.
The Doors and the Hinges.
You got that. Well, Nick came up with that, and I thought that was pretty clever.
It is.
Maybe we witnessed the birth of rock and roll of the Hinges on Saturday night, but it was great. And I never, of course, saw the Doors in concert, and I dare say anybody that was there did, if few. But boy, they recreated it to a T.
Well, there's a lot of video out there about the Doors, and you can catch a lot of different things about Morrison right now, especially on streaming services. But they looked fantastic.
And next week, or this coming Saturday, it's going to be a tribute to Van Halen. So if you're a Van Halen fan, get ready for that.
Boy, that's something I just might show up at. I want to see somebody recreate some of those guitar licks.
Well, they can, and I'm telling you, I want to kudos to all the folks down at the Columbia for doing this. I mean, they have done just an incredible job bringing in these kind of acts, and it paid off. A big packed house, I would have to say almost a sellout Saturday.
Well, I tell you what, they, like you said, they've done a good job of getting some good quality music in there, and it's well ran, and I really enjoy when I go there.
Sure enough. All right, thank you, Bill.
Yes,
this
sir.
Update brought to you this morning by Portsmouth Cancer Care and Associates. Dr. Inashita, Dr. I, we call him, with care, compassion, and roadmap to your recovery.
The health and well-being of the community when it comes to cancer care and the cure is a name that's legendary. His name is Dr. Inashita. At Portsmouth Cancer Care and Associates of Portsmouth, they're always there to think way ahead of the curve, to provide the absolute latest in care treatments and that personal one-on-one service that today is so rare. With Dr. Inashita and King's Daughters, they owe their success to the many forward-thinking community members and great volunteers who have all helped shape King's Daughters and Dr. Inashita as their first choice from patients and families who choose them for the most critical time in their life, when that absolute right decision must be made. For more information, from screenings to treatment, contact Dr. Inashita by calling 353-4884 or stop by and meet their incredibly helpful staff at 916 11th Street in Portsmouth. With Dr. I and Portsmouth Cancer Care and Associates, that's where the care, compassion, and the roadmap to your cure begin.
And good morning, 7:37 it is downtown. We're looking at 47 degrees. We've come up one and checking in with ONN.
This is ONN. I'm Jay Fox on the Ohio News Network. School districts across Ohio are focusing on ways to cut down on the number of older students skipping school on a regular basis. ONN's Jared Allen has more.
Parents and students usually call it skipping school, but school leaders call it chronic absenteeism, and they say it's a big problem. Numbers from one state agency indicate after the COVID pandemic, the number of students missing school increased 10 percentage points. The Dayton Daily News reports 1 in 4 Ohio students are chronically absent. Funding problems, the need to babysit brothers and sisters, and just not wanting to go are getting the blame.
Dangerous drugs that look like prescription medications are a top concern for Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost. Carla Robner with ONN affiliate WBNS TV in Columbus reports.
3,700 pills were taken by police in Pickerington. The AG's office says these are carfentanil. This drug is 100 times stronger than fentanyl. However, they are designed to look like typical prescription medication. According to Yost's office, the use of the drug peaked in 2017. It hasn't been as popular in recent years, but there has been an uptick in 2025. Carfentanil has been seized from 16 different counties across Ohio. Yost says only take pills prescribed by a doctor.
The Cincinnati Reds have gotten hot. They've won 4 in a row. Yesterday's starter Nick Lodolo pitched a dandy, striking out 9 in 7 innings as the Reds beat the Colorado Rockies 8-1. For the Ohio News Network, I'm Jay Fox.
This is Positive 4.
Yeah. Time for sports, brought to you this morning by your friends at Call Your Home Medical, 1661 State Route 522, and they're there for everything you need for home medical just across the street from Kroger. All right, big weekend in sports, huge, and to tell you more about it, here's Chuck.
You got it, Steve. As you just heard on ONN, the Cincinnati Reds had an incredible weekend out in Denver, sweeping a 3-game set from the Rockies that was polished off yesterday with an 8-1 victory. Cincinnati out-hit Colorado 14-3 in yesterday's contest. Noelve Marte went 3 for 5. Spencer Steer, Ellie De La Cruz, Austin Hayes, and Gavin Lux all had 2 hits each. Pitcher Nick Lodolo, he got the win as he went the first 7 innings, allowing no runs and just a couple hits. Austin Hayes had an incredible series. He had multiple hits in all 3 games against Colorado, which included 2 home runs on Saturday, a double Friday, and another double yesterday. The Reds have shot up to second place in the NL Central standings, a game and a half behind the Cubs. The Reds are 2 games above 500 with 15 wins and 13 losses. Cincy will try and keep the mojo flowing tonight as the Reds return home to begin a series with the St. Louis Cardinals. You can hear this evening's contest from Great American Ballpark on Fox Sportsmouth AM 1260 and 95.7 FM. Coverage will start at 6:10, leading up to the 6:40 first pitch. Nick Martinez will be on the mound this evening for the Redlegs. The Cleveland Guardians fell to the Boston Red Sox 13-3 yesterday. Cleveland dropped 2 out of 3 to Beantown. The Guardians will host the Minnesota Twins this evening at 6:10. Cleveland is second in the AL Central, 2.5 games behind Detroit. Saturday, in high school baseball, West was a winner over Belpre 17-7. Waverly defeated Logan Elm 5-2. And Sims Valley and Racine Southern split a doubleheader. Sims Valley took the first game 11-3 and Southern the second 8-6. Chesapeake was a winner over Grace Christian out of West Virginia on Saturday 10-3. Checking Saturday's high school softball scores, Sims Valley took 2, winning over Tippecanoe 14-9 and defeating Northmont 7-4. Notre Dame defeated Lebanon 4-3 but fell to Kenton Ridge 14-0, and Rock Hills softball team defeated the Gallia Academy Saturday 7-6. The NFL draft has come and gone. The Cincinnati Bengals wound up with 6 picks in all. Texas A&M edge rusher Shamar Stewart, South Carolina linebacker Demetrius Knight, Georgia offensive lineman Dylan Fairchild, Clemson linebacker Barrett Carter, Miami offensive lineman Jalen Rivens, and Texas Tech running back Taj Brooks are all now Bengals. The Cleveland Browns selected 7 players, including Michigan defensive lineman Mason Graham, UCLA linebacker Carson Sweshinger, Ohio State running back Quinshawn Judkins, Bowling Green tight end Harold Fannin Jr., Oregon quarterback Dylan Gabriel, Tennessee running back Dylan Sampson, and Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders, which was a much-publicized pick. 14 Ohio State players were selected in this year's NFL Draft. Tonight in the NBA playoffs, the Cavs will visit the Heat for a 7:30 tip-off. That's game number 4. Cleveland can get the sweep tonight as the Cavs are up 3-0 in the series, and Austin Cindric took the checkered flag at yesterday's NASCAR Cup race in Talladega. With this look at sports, I'm Chuck Greenslade.
Did it kind of surprise you Henderson didn't go a little higher?
Trayvon,
the
running backs are there's just so many of them out there.
Well, yeah, but he's
a great player. He is.
I thought he might go in the first, but I thought the Bengals might take him because the Bengals did not get any Ohio State love except for the center. In the pick, the Ohio State center.
The Bengals didn't get an Ohio State player.
I think they did. I think it was undrafted.
They signed him undrafted. Okay,
yeah, undrafted. But I mean, in the regular pick, no, they didn't. They didn't take anybody from Ohio State, which kind of surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, well, you got to take your needs. I know maybe Quinshawn Judkins going to the Cleveland Browns might squander some of those grumblings by the Browns taking a Michigan guy with the top pick, their first pick, of that. Yeah. But back to TreVeyon Henderson, he went to the New England Patriots, so I think he wound up with a pretty good situation there, no doubt.
All right, thank you, Chuck, and we'll keep you posted. Brought to you this morning at Sports by Collier Home Medical Equipment Company, and they're right across the street from Kroger in the Berg. They offer free home setup of a variety of home medical equipment. And we got traffic weather together next.
Collier is expanding its business opportunities to include Collier Home Medical, a local durable medical equipment company, or DME, offering free home setup of a variety of home medical equipment such as home oxygen and portable oxygen, as well as hospital beds, wheelchairs, rollators, walkers, and more. Collier also offers home sleep testing along with CPAP and BiPAP for patients diagnosed with sleep apnea. Overnight pulse oximetry testing is available with a physician order. Located at 1661 State Route 522 across from Kroger in Wheelersburg, call 740-574-0327.
And traffic, a service of the River. Scioto River, 1024 Gallia Street. And the gang will be there at 11 o'clock this morning to let you in. You can start smelling the fun on the smokers at 10 this morning. But we have no big problems here this morning on this Monday. We do have some berming going on. That's going to be on Blue Run Road today in Jefferson Township, and there will be flaggers standing by there. But you pretty much know about our other closures, so I won't bore you with that. And no accidents, again, so if you see something we need to know about, give us a call, 354-1993. Traffic, a service of the Scioto River, open 7 days a week.
Weather, a service of the Scioto County Career Technical Center, where you can begin your career as a certified pharmacy technician. Financial aid is available for those who qualify. For more information, call 740-259-5526 or visit sciototech.org.
Your WSAZ First Alert Forecast. Sunny skies today. We're starting out pretty chilly in the 40s, but eventually we climb back into the 80s by the afternoon. A very pleasant day. Overnight tonight, clouds will thicken up. Temperatures drop into the 60s. I'm WSAZ News Channel 3 meteorologist Nicholas Snyder on the Ohio Valley's hit music channel, Mix 99.3.
And with some cloud cover right now, currently